So Justin Roiland got fired. When was this? It was like 1 day ago. Wow, he puts out a lot of fucking videos. So 1 day ago, he put this video out, so it hasn't even had time to age poorly. So whatever he says here was aged poorly, appropriately. Like right away, it was poor. It didn't have to age to become poor. It came out of his mouth, nice and poor. So Justin Roiland of Rick and Morty fame got fired for many things. Seems like it's been boiling in the background of this forever. They've had production problems with that series since season 2, between Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland. It seems that the things coming out about Justin Roiland means that he just sucks. He's always sucked. We've looked at a couple of things recently on the channel. Maybe those will be in. Maybe the editor will involve those in any clips, and maybe she won't. It's up to her. It's her prerogative. But Roiland has essentially, he was involved in a domestic abuse instance where he struck his partner. He's also been involved in very, we'll use the word questionable, but if you use the word illegal in your head in place of that, or creepy or whatever, very questionable interactions with young women, and very questionable takes about their sexual validity. Around the age of 14 or something. So anyway, that's what Justin Roiland got fired for, all that stuff. He's just a shitbag. So here we go.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from TheQuartering, and in a bit of breaking news, Adult Swim has announced
No, I haven't the ender.
that
Maybe
it has fired Rick and Morty co-creator and the voice of Morty and Rick, Justin Roiland.
Mm-hmm. Morty and Rick and Morty.
He has now, after facing some pretty significant charges or claims. Now, just like with everything, even, I don't know. I don't really have anything personally against Justin Roiland or any of the opinions that he's had. I'm sure he's just another woke NPC drone.
How does your brain work like this? He's just a woke NPC drone. He's a woke NPC drone. Justin Roiland has never been woke about anything. What?
Like in Hollywood, like anyone else in Hollywood. But he hasn't been convicted of anything. So I don't want to cast aspersions on the man based on, people lie all the time. Now, I don't know the specifics of the case, but every person is, due their day in court. So this is Adult Swim cuts ties with Justin Roiland and will recast Rick and Morty. Roiland has been charged, of course, with felony and will no longer be involved in the show.
Charged with felony domestic abuse. Charged with felony domestic abuse. Do you see a lot of people being charged in that way that aren't guilty? Pretty tough. Like, there's a difference between being accused and being charged. When charges are brought up, they think they have enough to pursue criminal action. When you are accused, it is prior to the charges being drawn.
Why would I watch the show without the guy that created it? In what world would you want to watch this? Now the tweet came out at 4:15. They of course blocked all the replies, but it did allow some quote tweets. And Dan Harmon, now the sole owner of Rick and Morty, either
that video was really fucking funny. This one, this video is super funny, actually.
Either replace everyone, or not.
What?
I think that
either replace everyone.
Their actual tweet says, Adult Swim has ended its association with Justin Roiland. Rick and Morty will continue.
Yep.
The talented and dedicated crew are hard at work on season 7. Can't imagine watching the show without Justin Roiland, but I haven't watched the show. I watched like the first couple of seasons, and I just kind of stopped watching. It wasn't any real reason. And then obviously the Dan Harmon stuff came out, and I was like, maybe I don't like that. But
maybe
this is Hollywood Reporter says that the character's Roiland.
It's so wild that he doesn't have the ability to just take a stance. Maybe I don't like that. Fucking wow. How long is this? Just 10 minutes? Wow, I'm surprised. I'm surprised it's just long enough for a mid-roll ad. This isn't cynical at all.
Voiced on Rick and Morty, most notably Rick and Morty, will be recast, which means this is going to be a significantly larger change of the show than just removing him as co-showrunner and eliminating whatever influence he had on the writing process. Roiland is credited as co-creator, and it will still be going forward, but that means it's unclear how much actual writing he used to do from episode to episode. Either way, Dan Harmon will now be the sole showrunner in the series, though THR says Roiland will always be credited as co-creator. This major shakeup to what is inarguably Adult Swim's most enormous hit currently on the air and possibly of all time comes after
his content. Every time we watch one of these, every time we watch a quartering video, I am just struck by how devoid of content it is. He literally reads these and barely reacts. Like, it's hard to even... This is why I don't watch the quartering very often. It's hard to even do any of this. Like, I'm expecting, like, a take. But he's just reading it.
After a report came out earlier this year that Roiland had been charged.
Glad he can read this time. I'm surprised. He should be getting better. He reads a lot. It's all he does on here, right?
With some bad things.
Felony domestic battery and false imprisonment.
With a felony battery charge.
We can't say domestic battery on YouTube.
And false imprisonment over a complaint filed against him in May of 2020 by a woman he was dating at the time. Now, for the record, Roiland's attorney has claimed that the media's coverage of the case has been inaccurate, explaining that Roiland is not only innocent, but they have every expectation this matter is on course to be dismissed once the district attorney's office has completed its methodological review of evidence.
Methodological. Okay, yeah, see, he can read, huh? Methodical. Look, you don't have to be the most literate person, okay? It's not a big deal. Okay? Unless your whole content is reading stuff. Unless yes, you have to be. It's like having a really annoying voice and talking for a living. Like, happens, dude.
Adult Swim ordered 70 new episodes of Rick and Morty back in 2018, a number that should carry it through 10 seasons. With Roiland now out, it will presumably continue, as planned. I mean,
what?
I just don't.
What?
I don't know. I don't know what. They've seen some stuff on him talking to. Other people. There's some other
people that said underage girls, and he dismissed it and said other people. Just seen they had some stuff on him talking to underage girls, so even the worst of Rick and Morty ilk might be quiet. Underage girls.
Seen some stuff on him talking to other people. There's some other stuff.
Incredible stuff. Incredible editorializing
Stuff going on. But I don't know.
You don't know what?
I don't exactly like that there's simply a charge in place here with no actual conviction.
Why? The company found it credible enough to disassociate themselves with it. That's fine. Such journalism. I don't know. I don't like this.
That and then getting fired from your job, getting fired from the thing that you created is actually insane.
Is it?
It'd be like, hey,
finally we're here for a take.
Somebody said this crazy thing about you quartering. So guess what? Your show is now our show, and we're going to replace you with someone else. And everything that you did, you worked on, and that is part of your, the things that you've done in your life. We don't care about that.
Yes, we don't care about that when you do felony domestic battery. Yeah. Yep.
I hope you
Avery.
have a fantastic day.
Thank you so much for the 15 months. I appreciate it. Anybody else got another one? Slurping.
You know, this is our thing now, and we need to fire you from it. None of, the specifics are clear. It says most of the court records related to the case are sealed, but NBC reports that Roiland pled not guilty to both charges back in 2020. So this is 3 years ago, potentially. Since then, there have been a number of pretrial hearings, including one in which Roiland appeared this Thursday. An official trial date has not been set. There was also a protective order filed back in October 2020 stating that Roiland is not to engage with the person who filed it.
Harass, threaten, or surveil the person named in the protective order. So there was a protective order filed against the man. He had to turn over his firearms.
Initially charged in May of 2020 and was arrested and released in August on a $50,000 bond. He was arraigned in October. Obviously, other projects like Solar Opposites, which he co-created with Mike McMahon of Lower Decks, and he voice acts on, has already been renewed for seasons 4 and 5 at Hulu. Both seasons have yet to air. Roiland's status on those projects also remain unclear. Well, I think it's pretty clear that he'll be cut off those too. And I think if you go back, it wasn't that long ago that a lot of people were really upset with Dan Harmon making some really uncouth jokes. They,
I don't know. Yes, they can both have done this. It doesn't seem very, very odd. Yeah, they could both have done things that are uncool.
Jokes, quote unquote. I think like maybe he was just trying to be edgy, or maybe he was
probably was.
Maybe he was legitimately a piece of garbage.
I believe he had sexual impropriety with a coworker, right? Like one of his subordinates. I don't know what it was. I don't remember. I don't really care. But I believe the distaste came from that, right? Didn't he have a divorce over the whole thing?
It's difficult for me to know.
Or is it separate?
100% for true. For, the case of what's in his mind. But this isn't the first time Rick and Morty, like these are the two creators. Okay. And here's Dan Harmon, the creator of Community and Rick and Morty, has apologized and deleted his Twitter account after a 2009 sketch. And again, it's not that long ago at the time this happened, in which he plays a therapist who does terrible things, resurfaced online. The sketch was originally aired at the film festival, Channel 101, but it started to go viral this weekend after it resurfaced.
Holy shit. So now it's not even, he couldn't even fill the time with Justin Roiland. And he's literally just looking down at the different comments and scrambling for 10 minutes. Jesus Christ.
Against that and with Justin Roiland. All the Squidbillies detail, but I do remember there was something where, I don't know if he was at the rally, if he was at the worst day.
Incredible content.
So they're just living by their own rules, I guess. I hope you were informed by this video. If you were, please do leave a like.
I hope you were informed by this video. I don't really know much, but I don't let that get in the way of me having my opinion. I mean, there's literally nothing. He said nothing. I hate the quartering, dude. Jeremy, he knows he's vapid, right? He knows he has nothing in there. Like, he didn't even have the courage to have like a hot take. He just had no takes. He just sort of regaled people with it. And his hottest take was, well, I don't know. He's not convicted of anything, so you shouldn't be able to fire him. And it's like, you advocate for free market capitalism, bro. This is the system. This is the system that happens now. Like, yes, companies are going to protect themselves in that scenario, and they're not gonna wait and see if their guy actually committed felony domestic assault at this point. Like, pretty dumb. Yeah, I mean, just lying to your audience by omission at best. Is Twitter fucked? No. There we go. Now it's back. Jesus Christ. This site sucks, dude. The whole site of Twitter is ass. It's so much worse. Everything he touches turns to like shit. Weird. People, yeah, but if they get fired for weed, that's their personal responsibility, you see. Getting fired for smoking weed and failing a drug test, that's your personal responsibility. But if you had the cops called on you for a felony domestic assault situation and you claim to be innocent, that's not your personal responsibility. That's just some bitch lying about you. Know what I mean? These fucking people, bro.